Hey everyone, John here, and I am, and always have been, a mega fan of this green light. StreetPass, baby. A while ago, myself, Xeon, and Felix from Nintendo Life made a video where we browsed the streets of London in the hopes of finding a StreetPass hit. And eventually, it took a while, we had to walk all over the city and take the tube basically everywhere, but eventually, we found another 3DS user who gave us the green light of destiny. And I still sometimes take this thing around with me. If I'm going to a big city or a convention, usually I will find at least one person with a 3DS. Sometimes there's nothing, but every now and then, you'll get at least one guy who is giving you the green goodness. However, I do realize that those situations are becoming lesser and lesser. And we're now, we're 13 years away from 3DS's launch. And there are far fewer people carrying their systems around with them. And so unless you're organizing a meetup, it's going to become rarer and rarer that you'll actually find this green light, which is a huge shame, because my wedding, which I had a few weeks ago, featured StreetPass. I mean, of course it did. Of course my wedding guests had their 3DSs on them. If they didn't, they wouldn't be allowed in the venue. Nothing's ever going to rival or replace a physical StreetPass hit. I mean, how can it? It's just so cool to find someone else in the world out there carrying their 3DS around with them. However, the functionality is going to become rather tricky to trigger. And there's many games out there like Bravely Default and Bravely Second where StreetPass is a pretty big factor. I mean, building your town in that game without StreetPass is a big slog, a big grind, but if you're able to get other people, then suddenly it's actually fun. I hit my 3DS on the table there, whoops. And so, enter NetPass, a brand new 3DS homebrew app that you can find on the Universal App Data that basically takes StreetPass online. This app gives you 3 virtual locations. There is the train station, there's the plaza, and there's the mall. And if you enter these locations, suddenly you're mixed up with a bunch of other people within that location. So if I go to the train station, I'm going to be synced with other people in the train station and get a digital online StreetPass hit from them. This will put their me in my StreetPass Plaza, allowing things like Puzzle Swap and StreetPass Quest, and so many other games within that app, but also, of course, all the other games that had StreetPass, like Mario 3D Land and Kid Icarus Uprising and Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, and many, many, many more. In fact, even Nintendo Letterbox, which is a messaging service that's been discontinued, supported StreetPass, so I can still receive messages from random people within a discontinued app, and I think that's kinda cool. Also, I made this message in 2011 saying NGP better, which was the codename for Vita. Nothing's changed. Now, NetPass is like 1 week old. This is version 0.2, so are there problems? Are there hurdles to getting this thing to work? Well, kinda. So the thing is, first you join a room, whether it's the train station, the plaza, or the mall. And once you're in there, you're free to back out. Basically, your data is stored within their server on their side. There's no need to keep on checking the app to get more StreetPass hits. It's going to keep you in there and just sort of keep merging you with other people until eventually it triggers a hit. And basically, every hour, their database updates, and there's a chance that you could have found someone else in there. But there's also a chance that you found no one at all. In fact, I've gone hours finding no one at all. And so the way the author put it is there's a chance you could find 2 people a day, or you could find 40 people a day. And while I appreciate trying to sort of replicate the real-life StreetPass experience, if I'm at a train station filled with people with 3DSs, there's not really going to be a chance that I won't find someone. I'm going to at least tag someone else. And so I do wish that they would at least, guarantee that you'll find someone. Like, I understand the logic behind sort of maintaining the true-to-life StreetPass experience, but this is all about functionality. This is about getting StreetPass back into games. And so I'm not sure that this should really be something that is a big part of this app. I think when you sign in, you should just find someone immediately. The whole luck thing, at least in my opinion, doesn't really make much sense here. Also, when you choose your location, you're starting a 10-hour session that you can't change. You're stuck at the train station for 10 hours. So when 10 hours change, you can then go to the plaza or go to the mall. But basically, you can't change where you are once you start. So if you're trying to match with someone, make sure you're both at the same area. But also, your data is stored in the server regardless for 30 days. So it's just good to mix things up every 10 hours so you can get the most hits possible. So, while this is a bit flawed at the moment, it works. It preserves the functionality of StreetPass. And I found someone who gave me Mario Maker 3DS data, and what's cool about that is I was playing someone else's level without any actual online servers being involved. I'm not using Pretendo, I'm not using Nintendo Network. This is technically offline, even if we are using online to get the StreetPass in the first place. But the point is, I'm playing a Mario Maker 1 level of someone else, even though the servers are shut down, which is just kinda crazy. Mario Maker 3DS truly outlived the Wii U game, in some sense. Who's laughing now, Wii U? There's a ton of awesome StreetPass games out there. Of course, there's Smash 3DS with an entire mode being Street Smash, where you play something that's kind of similar to Monkey Fight. It's kind of cool to have that keep on going. There's Animal Crossing New Leaf, where you can basically find a model of their house that you can visit and then purchase the furniture that's in there. Like, that's awesome. And there's so many more. Kid Icarus Uprising with the whole weapon system and gems. Like, it's rad as flip. And while this app is in its early days, the functionality is there. I think it's going to get much better as it goes on, and I hope that some of this criticism is brought on board. It is cool to replicate the experience of StreetPass, but I'm sure there is a middle ground. Like, at least guarantee that someone's going to be matched with you every hour, at the very least. Because there's bound to be lots of us in there. I know a lot of GVG viewers are in there waiting for their StreetPass hits, but were any of these you? Are you any of these people? Are you that one? Are you her? I don't know. So, this is the time to collect those puzzle pieces that you never finished. This is StreetPass in the new world. NetPass, keeping StreetPass alive and the functionality within the games going forever and ever and ever. However, I do hope that it does not replace StreetPass. While it's very cool that we can just get the functionality whenever we want, there's still nothing cooler than just finding someone in the real world and getting this light to appear. And it's also worth noting this light does not appear in the app itself. You'll go back to the home menu and your icons will be glowing green, but you won't get this light. This light's only for finding actual StreetPass people, which gives you more value. You won't see this light unless you find someone real. So yeah, both can coexist totally fine. Anyway, thank you for watching, and because you watched all the way until the end, it's hot take time. My hot take today maybe isn't really that hot. It's kind of it's kind of a cold take, really. I think StreetPass should continue with modern systems. You know, the Switch, while being a hybrid, is still a system that many people take around with us, like chucking that thing in a bag and just taking it around. However, there's no actual, social systems to it being a handheld. There's nothing like PictoChat or StreetPass. And the beauty of something like StreetPass is it encouraged you to take your system around with you, regardless of motive. So with, the Switch, if I'm going on a train journey, I'll bring that thing with me. But otherwise, I probably won't. But with the 3DS, this was just jammed in my pocket, and I'll just go around and look for StreetPass hits. But also, if an opportunity occurred, I could play games whenever I wanted to. Like if I'm waiting for a bus or a train, or it's just some downtime, I can just pull the 3DS out because it's with me. Whereas with the Switch, it won't be with me. It's only with me if I plan for it to be with me. So some kind of social functionality like that just kind of makes it part of a lifestyle rather than it being convenience. And I think that had so many clever applications for 3DS and other handhelds. So yeah, StreetPass should return. And if the Switch 2 doesn't have it, it's probably going to be a massive failure that no one's going to buy. Little Jimmy's going to look at that thing and say, "Mum, has he got StreetPass?" And she's going to look at him in the eyes and say, Little Jimmy, I'm afraid that you're never going to see that green light again." And little Jimmy's just never going to play a game. He's going to go on to be a reader, an academic. He's going to live a full and happy life. All because there's no StreetPass. Come on, Nintendo. Do better than that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everyone.